it's good to be a loner. And I'm not talking about being a lone wolf. What I'm talking about is that it's good to just have nothing, to start off with nothing, and to be 100% intentional with the next things that you do. I'm not sure if you heard about the idea of life being a game and playing life like a game, essentially just gamifying your entire life. But I'm not saying that that's the best thing to do with respect to, I guess, the psychology of your mind. Sometimes that could lead people to become disassociated from reality, and then you could easily become a really shitty person, or a psychopath. But there is some truth to the idea of gamifying or building. There's a reason why Jesus Christ was a carpenter and made stuff with his hands. There's a really good analogy building is a really good analogy for a life. And so the reason why it's best to be a loner is because most people, their friend groups and their network are holding them back. And this is a saying that is completely, it's overused today. Well, it's used a lot today. Maybe it's not overused. Maybe it's needed, but you are the summation of your 5 closest friends. Or there's another one of your net worth is your network. So essentially it is, you are who you're around, which is true. Everybody knows that. When you get to a certain age, it becomes highly obvious. But the whole idea of being a loner is that, and the reason why I'm saying it's good to be a loner is because if you weren't a loner, you probably have a bad network and a bad friend group of people that are holding you back, that don't believe in you, that aren't your true friends. Either they're talking about you behind your back, or they don't really have the best intentions for you. In which case, your entire network, your entire structure of friends, they're worthless. You don't need them. In fact, you need to get rid of them. And sometimes people can't get rid of their friends. Sometimes people cannot cut off their friend group or their network. And a lot of people could get trapped in this stage. They could get trapped when people want to change their lives, when they want to start making more money, when they want to be healthy, when they just want to lead an overall different life. One of their biggest traps, aside from themselves actually being accountable and holding themselves accountable, is their friend group. A lot of people are afraid to be a loner. It's embarrassing to some to wake up and not have anybody to talk to or not have anybody to go do something fun with, which is crazy because honestly, at a certain age, not even at a certain age, I don't understand the point of just going out and having fun, especially if you're a man. If you're a man, you want to be building something that is long lasting, something that can help your family and your community. You're essentially trying to make an impact on the world. So if you're doing anything else other than that, if you don't have that yet, then you're setting yourself up for an extremely difficult life. Now, there's plenty of people here on YouTube that talk about this. There's plenty of gurus, business gurus, self-help gurus, but then there's a reason why these people are saying this, because it needs to be said. And a lot of people haven't heard this until they've gone onto YouTube or until they've gotten later in life. I know I didn't hear it at all. I had to figure it out myself. And so people can get stuck with their current life. They could get stuck with their friend group and their network, and they will never be able to get over this huge hurdle to the life that they want to live. And that sucks. And it's honestly scary because a lot of people have a fear that I don't know if not all people are like this. There is a dark side to the human mind, and this is a whole psychological endeavor that everybody should go through. And that's the whole idea of the shadow. Jung talks about this. It's the idea of the dark side of the mind. And so while we're going through our lives and doing our things, we have a side of us that is that you would call good, that's light, that has all the good intentions, but then there's always that other side that kind of has a dark spin to it, you know? So for example, some people will go and give a homeless person some money and some food. You'll see those YouTube videos. And the light side is that they're going out and they're helping a homeless person, a person in need. But then the dark side is, oh, I could get video of this and make content. I could share this with my subscribers, and people will think that I'm a really good person. I just want to share. I just want I want people to recognize that I'm doing something good. No, that's the dark side of it. And most of us could see that. A lot of people could see what the dark side of somebody's action, but it's really hard to see your own dark side. So one of the dark sides of why people are afraid to cut people off is because they think that there's something that person can give them. Now, whether your friend could give you entertainment, whether they could give you money, or they could give you opportunities. A lot of young people, especially the ones that go to college, you think about networking, and there could be this high anxiety around networking. When I was taking business courses at the school I was going to, I wasn't a business major. I was studying economics, but I did take a few business courses, and I noticed the biggest thing, a huge thing that the first year students were learning in business school was how to network. You learn how to introduce yourself, how to shake hands and everything. And when you were there, you could just feel a sort of high anxiety around people. And there was this high anxiety to network. And it was funny because people who've gone to this school, well, maybe it's most business schools are like this, but they would tell you, hey, they would give you this formula, like this little script. Hey, ask these 3 questions. It makes it easy to get to know people. It makes it easy to network and stuff. And so whenever people would come up to me and they'd shake my hand, they'd ask me the same 3 questions. What's your major and stuff? And I would just mess with them because I thought it was funny. I think it's funny to live your life off of a script, which you will find that most people, including yourself, are just living on a script. Now, we do have a background program. Now, I don't want to digress too far and delineate from the main message of this video, but you have to control your program. You have a background program that is responsible for the majority of the things that you do, and it's been being programmed your entire life, so you got to program that yourself. But nonetheless, I would mess with these people because I could tell, which some people might think is messed up, but I really don't want to, and I didn't want to interact with people that were just mindlessly reading a script to me for the purposes of hopefully gaining me into their network so that I could help them. That's so inhuman. And so I would just mess with them. I would shake their hand and I'd be like, oh, you're overpowering me. So I'd go, in business school, when we were shaking hands, they would say, make sure not to be too soft, to have a firm handshake, but don't have a really, really firm handshake because you don't want to overpower them. That might make them feel uncomfortable and stuff. So when I'd shake people's hands, I'd be like, oh, you're overpowering me. Stop, you're overpowering me. Why are you overpowering me? And they would some of them would get nervous, some of them would get kind of upset, and then some of them would laugh, you know. But it was really funny because it was like the one thing that they're afraid of is having a bad handshake. And so like you make it seem like they have a bad handshake, and it's just funny. And so I would do stuff like that. But back to the whole idea of high anxiety with networking. A lot of people, you want to get rich today. Everybody's looking for quick rich schemes. I mean, this is how you can get scammed. This is why most people get scammed. They get scammed because they're looking for something that's just not out there. And scammers give you things that you can't get. And what inevitably happens is you're so excited because you think you're going to get the thing that you can't get. Or you think you're going to get the thing. Yeah, you think you're going to get the thing that everybody knows that you can't get, but you are naive enough to think that you could get it. And then you realize, boom, you just got scammed. You lost money, you lost time. Really stupid. And it was all because you were selfish and greedy, because you were trying to get something for nothing. And so either way, people want to get out there when they're young, and you think about networking, and you do it in the most insincere way. It's with the really dark side of your mind. And this is where some of these YouTube gurus and some of these people like Andrew Tate are correct, in the sense that they kind of have their shadow integrated with them. Whereas like if you're only leading with the good side, if somebody's only leading with the good side, you gotta watch out for them. So they're saying, oh, I really care about, I really love sales, I really love this, I really care about all of that, I just wanna change humanity and all this stuff and whatever. And it's like okay, that's all fine, sure, maybe that's probably true, but what do you really want? And the truth is, we all know this, everybody wants money, everybody wants financial freedom, people want attention, they want to be recognized, people want intimacy, you know, people want women want men, and that's pretty much it. And influence, some sort of power, some sort of responsibility. And so that's why somebody like Andrew Tate is so refreshing in a time like this, because he's so honest. And it's just like, look, I want to have fast cars, I want to have a big house, I want a lot of money, I want beautiful women, and I want to be able to lead with my masculine imperative. And that's the truth, and that's honest. So if you go and you do a business deal with that guy, he's gonna say, look, I want to make a return of at least 20%, which is huge. Now, if anybody says you're getting more than that, that's crazy, because the best, high yield savings is like 5%, and then greater than that, like that's around the S&P 500 and investing in shit. So like getting a 10%, 20% return on your investment, crazy. But if somebody comes in and says, look, I want to make this much money with this deal, and this deal, I'm building my empire, I'm building my brand, this is what I want to do, that's fine. That's honest. And now the other person's like, this is what I want for me. You could do something for the team and you could do something for the business, but it's okay to have the part where you say, but this part is for me. This is what I want for my life. This is what I want to do. And that's the dark side. And that side's always going to exist. Now, the dark side becomes really dark when you try to hide it from people. Now, when you integrate it and you lead with it sometimes, when you lead with it with the correct people, the people that you vet, that's good. Now, back to the main idea, if you're a loner, you're in a good position, because it means you don't have to work through all the things that are hard to break away from, friends that are distractors, that are holding you back, that don't believe that in what you could do, that don't believe that they can lead a life of excellence. And you don't want to get stuck in a situation where you keep going back to friends and going back to associates that are hindering your growth. And you could really step back and create a plan, and you could be intentional with this plan. And you realize at a certain age or at a certain level of maturity in life, you'll realize that everything, it has to be intentional. And the reason why it has to be intentional is because right now, you who are watching this video, you are exactly in the right place. Everything is perfect. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Everything that you did prior to this day led to this day. So now that you're awake or aware, maybe this video got you aware, maybe other videos woke you up finally to look around and realize, oh, this is perfect. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect in that, like, it's the life that you want, but it's perfect in the sense that it is exactly what you deserve. And you could look around and you could say, okay, so now that I know everything that I did got me here, anywhere I want to go, I can get there easily. You can get there. It's no problem. But you have to have the intention behind it. So you didn't have the intention of being where you are right now. It was on accident, because you were living unintentionally. You were just doing things willy-nilly without any sort of direction. And you may think that you have direction, but a good test to know whether or not you have direction is, are you where you want to be, or are you progressively getting closer to the place that you want to be? Now, if you are finding that you are ending up in scenarios that are not conducive to the life that you want to live, then you are lacking direction and you need to stop. And one of the things is, this world, in the Western world especially, maybe specifically just the Western world, people are going so fast and they're in such a rush. Oh, I gotta make a network. I gotta meet this person. I gotta meet somebody that's gonna change my life. I gotta meet somebody that's gonna get me that job. I gotta go make some money. Oh, I gotta go to the club and get some hoes and stuff. And so everybody's in such a rush that they don't know how to stop themselves when they're on a path to just to a complete mess of a life and complete chaos. And sometimes the most important thing to do is to be able to just stop and cut the freaking cord and just say, okay, what I'm doing is not working. You need to stop. Just stop what you're doing. Take a weekend off or take a day off and just look at your life. Like, you really have to just sit down grab a notebook and just reflect on your entire life and just go, okay, what the hell is going on? Where am I living? Who's my closest friend? What am I doing to get money? And you've got to look at everything. What am I doing with my physical life? Am I going to the gym? Am I not going to the gym? What food am I eating? What music am I listening to? What videos am I watching? I guarantee you, the stuff that you consume, from the things that you listen to, the things that you watch, the things that you eat, the air that you breathe, the water that you drink, everything that goes inside this vessel is making you. You are what you eat, and every aspect of what it means to consume. So if you're listening to really low quality music that is talking about utterly nothing, just complete nonsense, which is what most music is these days, you are going to be utterly nothing. You are going to be nonsense. And that is a fact. Same thing with the videos. And so you just need to cut everything, look at everything, and then be intentional with it. Why am I watching this video? With intention. What is the intention behind this video? Why am I watching this? Why am I listening to this song? What is the intention behind this song? This song is by Neural Beats. It's isochronic tones. It helps me get into a certain mind state so that I can work effectively, so that I can relax and get good rest. Whatever it is. This podcast that I'm listening to is run by successful business owners in e-commerce. And so they talk about e-commerce. I want to learn about business. I want to learn about the e-commerce domain. Why am I eating this food? This food is providing me omega-3s. It's providing me protein. It's providing me the base chain amino acids, the minerals, and all the nutrients that I need to be healthy so that my brain, my body can work effectively. So everything needs to be intentional. So back to being a loner again and building your network. Your network has to be intentional. Now, a big problem that I notice with a lot of men is there's a lot of men out there that aren't really sociable, that don't like to talk, which is relatively masculine. And our society is hyper-feminized right now. And so a lot of these young guys are kind of taught that they need to be more outgoing and gregarious and talkative, and that's not true. That is not true. There are so many people on this planet, 7+ billion people on this planet. I don't remember how many there are in the United States, greater than 500 million, I imagine, but there is a person and a group of people that are perfect for you. Like, you will just fit in. And so if you go through this life, there's a lot of robots. There's a lot of programmatic robots here on this planet, in this country, in the Western world, that you will never, ever, ever be able to know who they are. They don't know who they are. And those people, you don't want to be around them. So you're going to experience a lot of these robots. You're going to go into these social environments, you're going to meet these people, and you're going to feel frustrated. Why am I not finding my tribe? Why am I not finding the right people? Why does it seem like I'm not fitting in? Or it's just not working. And guess what? You don't want it to work with those people. You don't. I can guarantee you that. It is gonna destroy you mentally, it's gonna destroy you emotionally, spiritually, It's going to mess you up. And I promise you, there is a group of people, there's a close friend that is perfect for you when you're in your truest version. Not if you're in a programmatic state where you aren't reflecting on yourself, on your life, why you're doing what you're doing. You need to know why every single thing that you do, you need to know why you're doing it. Everything. You're drinking water, why? Why are you drinking water? If you're drinking water because you were told that you should get at least a gallon in a day so that you could lose weight, bullshit. Stop. You don't know why you're drinking water. You're drinking water because somebody told you that you need to drink water. And guess what? You don't need to drink that much water to be hydrated. The most important part about being hydrated is electrolytes and minerals. Having a good amount of magnesium, zinc, copper, which most of us are deficient in. If you have your minerals, you are going to be hydrated. Drink water when you're thirsty. That's why. Not because somebody told you to. You need to know every single reason of why you're doing anything that you do in your life. And you need to know it from your core. That's associated with your core, your being. Everything that I do is in alignment with what this being is and what this being stands for. And so, when you are that, when you are your truest version, you can find the right people for you if they are in their truest version. And finding those people could take time, but it's patience. You have to be patient. And the thing is so this whole new strategy with networking, you cannot have the mindset of, I need to network. You don't need to network. You don't. What you need to do is you need to be authentic, your authentic self, and then you need to go find the people that are being authentic. And when you find those people, it's going to naturally happen. You don't go into a public meet and greet thinking, I really hope somebody likes me. I really hope I find somebody that can help me with my business, that can help me with my career. Boom, you lost. Game over. I'm sorry. You're a loser. You're going to be like all the other losers, and you just lost. And the reason why is because, one, you're desperate, and two, you're not going to be authentic. You're looking for somebody to save you, for somebody to help you, and that's just not how it works. You're not going to build your important relationships by looking for help. You're going to build your important relationships by offering help. And when you have that mindset going into a meet and greet, going into a networking event, you've lost. Because you're already seeking approval, and it's just not going to work. You need to go into the networking event with this idea that I'm going to go into this room. I'm going to talk about what I like. I'm going to talk the way that I talk. And if you meet somebody and you don't feel like talking, you feel uncomfortable, then that listen to that. That's a sign. You feel uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right. Okay, then that's not the person. Don't force yourself. Don't force yourself to talk. Don't force yourself to be loud. Don't force yourself to be funny. You have to just be present. Be in the moment. See what's going on. If there's something that's funny, laugh. And guess what? If a bunch of people don't laugh, they don't think the thing that you thought was funny, they might look at you like you're weird. Fuck them, man. You just be genuine. You're just like, dude, that was funny. Okay, whatever. And you go into the networking event with the intention of just hopefully finding somebody that jives with you. You go in there, you're your authentic version, and guess what? You're probably not going to, and that's okay. And on a rare occasion, you might find one, and this is where it might get disheartening. And you'll find that you're going to find your best friends, your best business partners, in places where it's a completely accidental. At your favorite coffee shop, your favorite restaurant, your gym, any place where you go for some sort of hobby or something that you enjoy, like golfing, or maybe you like playing basketball or whatever. And this, to digress just a little bit, this is where the whole idea of paying for a good gym, because you're probably not going to find your best friend at Planet Fitness. You can, You definitely can. It is probably really rare. The likelihood of finding them is slim to none at a Planet Fitness or at a Crunch. And if you're at a Crunch right now because you can't afford a gym, that's okay. Put your headphones on, just focus on your workout, and don't treat the robots, the people that are on a program like crap. Like, they're not beneath you. They need help, just like all of us needed help when we were stuck in our robotic state. Talk to them the way you would talk to the person who is going to be your best friend, or the person that is part of your network. Of course, if they respect you. If they don't respect you, that's a different story. But nonetheless, just be your true, authentic self everywhere you go. But try not to waste too much time on these robot people that are kind of doing nothing. They want to come up to you and they want to talk about the election, or they want to talk about some football sporting event. They're just sitting there yapping away. 30 minutes, an hour goes by and they're just yapping. Or some girl is just yapping away at you. She likes you, she thinks you're cute and everything. Or you see a girl, you're like, oh, I want to go talk to her, you don't want to waste your time doing that. It is not going to shape the life that you want to lead. So just be focused, hyper focused. I'm working on this business. I'm building my network. I'm looking for people who have these values. And so this is the thing. You need to know exactly what your values are and what you want to do. And then the people that you're closest with, you need to know what their values are, what they want to do, and what they're working on. And that's how you're going to find your network. And so you're going to be obsessed with these topics. You're going to be obsessed with the topics of your values and the business that you're working on. And this is perfect because it's going to weed out the people immediately. They're going to be some people that you're going to be talking about starting. Let's just say you're starting a service business, and you want to be. This is a bad example. You probably shouldn't do this, but let's say you want to be a truck driver or whatever, just some sort of service business. You want to lay tile, and you're going to talk about laying tile every day, probably, because that's your business. You're learning about the entire industry, the industry in your local area. You're going to talk about this so much, and people are going to be so uninterested. They're just going to be like, God, all this guy ever does is talk about laying tile and tile businesses here. All this guy ever does is talk about truth, being truthful, accountability, challenging yourself and pushing yourself to the limits. All this guy ever talks about is going to the gym, business. He's boring, and that's perfect. It is perfect. You want to be that boring person, because those people that are like, wow, this guy's so boring, all he ever talks about is just that, and they're gonna not want to hang out with you. And you're gonna know, because you're not a robot, you're gonna know that person is distracted, and they would have just distracted me. And because right now, you mastering this business, competing in this industry, ready to tear it up, that's not boring to you. That's your obsession. That's your goal, and you're going to accomplish it no matter what. Nobody, not yourself and not any other person, is going to get in the way. So that's how you want it to be. And the strategy for the network is that you'll be your true, authentic self, and you will talk about the things that you're currently obsessed with and your values, and then naturally you'll find those people. And it could take a very long time. Just like getting financially successful, it could happen fast, but it can also take a very long time. You could find your best lifetime business partner today, or you could find them in a year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years. But what you got to know is that it takes your true, authentic version and a certain level of awareness, of knowing oneself. And you should be able to build a solid network. So when you get your first best friend, or your first wife, your first close girlfriend, that's intentional, then there's a whole procedure of what you guys should do together, what you guys should talk about, and how to build that relationship. And maybe throughout that time you find that it's not a fit, or it's not working, and you're going to go through that a lot. And so it just needs to be intentional. Again, when you wake up, what you do, what you drink, what you eat, what you listen to, what you watch, your mentor, your advisors, your best friend, your girlfriend, your wife, it is all with intention. And that is why it is best to be a loner, because you have nothing in your way that you have to cut off first. It's like a bad diet. When you're completely got all these toxins in your body, you ate a bunch of bad food, you have to detox and get all the bad stuff first, and then you start eating all the good foods in. You don't have to do that because you're detoxed. You're detoxed already. You have no friends, you have no girlfriend, you don't have a network of people that you're extremely close with. Perfect. Use this time to really reflect, know yourself, find your truest authentic version, and then go out there. Get ready to build that. The people that are conducive to the exact life that you want to live, an excellent life. My name is Roman Kenric. I do business coaching. I have courses on building businesses. I like to see people succeed. I'm currently building my community right now. I'm still in my stage of building my network, just like you are. You'll probably continually build your network until you find a really nice, solid group. And that's what I'm doing right now. My goal is to help people have a better life, to lead better lives. I don't want us to be beholden to big corporations and have like Vanguard and BlackRock, all these, you've probably heard of those companies, but I don't want all of us to be stuck in working menial jobs for corporations. I would prefer the people around me to be honest, good people that believe in a higher being, that have their own businesses and that are living well. They're not living in a scarce world. I want to live abundantly. I want other people around me to live abundantly also. So we can all build a great world together. That's what I want. And that's what this channel is about. I'm going to talk about philosophy. I'm going to talk about businesses. I'm going to share some business ideas that if you don't have a business, if you don't know where to do, there's plenty of ideas. There's plenty of experiences that I've had that I can share with you that could help you flip that around. So I'm going to just share as much stuff that I know on this channel. All right, take care, guys. Make sure to follow, leave a comment, and like that button and stuff. And I'll see you next time.